Hi, I'm Joyce Hardy. I'm Professor of Sciences here at Chadron State College. Welcome to the Chadron State College Science and Mathematics building. We're standing here at the main architectural feature of the building, which is the Foucault pendulum, and these stairs, which are reminiscent of a DNA double helix. It takes about a day and a half for that pendulum to make a complete circle, and what it reveals is that the Earth is moving underneath us. We can't feel it because we're moving with the Earth as well. Welcome to the Eleanor Barbour Cook Museum of Geology. Eleanor Barbour Cook was an early faculty member here in the geosciences. The Museum of Geology is one of our major outreach spaces. We will retain the museum in an expanded form. We hope to add more natural history to it so that it goes beyond just fossils. We also hope to add to it some interactive displays. Welcome to the Planetarium. This is another one of our outreach facilities. This planetarium was rebuilt in the 1980s. This projection system is now 40 years old. Quite a few changes have occurred since then. The new planetarium hopefully will be built underneath the stairs of the remodeled facility. Of course, the new planetariums are much more digitized, don't take near as much equipment. So we hope to have that up and running for about 40 students at a time. We're in the Herbarium and the Associated Archives right now. It's a jewel of Chadron State College. It's one of the premier research facilities that we have on our campus. This is also the most active herbarium in the High Plains region under the direction of Mr. Stephen Rolfsmeyer. We have collections documenting the vegetation at specific periods of time. And so as we compare those plants, we can look at the effect of human interactions, climate change, and any other environmental factors that might be influencing our vegetational patterns. It's a significant facility and one that Chadron State College is quite proud of. It will retain its premier space. This facility is actively utilized not only by scientific researchers from around the world, but also by local veterinarians when they are concerned about poisonous species, also by law enforcement individuals when they're looking at identification of different plants or plant specimens that they may have. So we receive quite a few visitors here that are using it for scientific research. We also exchange information. Mr. Rolfsmeyer has a grant to digitize much of the collection. Once these collections are digitized, then they'll be accessible from any place in the world. We're standing outside of our gross anatomy lab right now. This lab was developed by Dr. J. Drucker in the late 1980s and has been a significant addition to our pre-health professions program. Our students leave this program highly prepared in human anatomy and physiology, primarily as a direct result of the gross anatomy laboratory experiences. In our renovated building, we'll have a larger space for our gross anatomy laboratory, as well as some additional features, which include student lockers and additional learning supplies right in the laboratory. We are here now in one of two of our large lecture halls. While this classroom is very effective for disseminating information, it's not very effective when you're trying to use it for peer-to-peer learning. And so our active learning groups, where they need to work together to solve critical thinking problems, involve quite a bit of twisting and turning for the students to work in pairs or in small groups. These classes are used primarily for our freshman level courses, which are larger. As the students progress through the curriculum, they start to specialize, and then our upper division courses are smaller than that. The renovated spaces will have one large lecture hall. We will have space for students to spread out their work, and it will be much more conducive to student interactions and student-teacher interactions as well. This is the Anatomy and Physiology Lab, where we teach our students the precursor to using the gross anatomy lab, and we also do quite a bit of our physiological investigations. You can't teach science without teaching a lab, and this is one of our labs. A hallmark of our program is that our faculty teach our own labs. We don't use graduate assistants to teach a lab. The student, therefore, gets access to the faculty member not only in the classroom but also in the laboratory setting, which further benefits their learning. We're looking forward to laboratory spaces that are a little bit more conducive to student group activities. While this laboratory space works well, we think that there can be some advantages by changing the furniture or changing the layout of the laboratory. Every student that comes through our sciences programs is required to take chemistry because chemistry is foundational to understand both geosciences and biology. This is the Organic Chemistry Laboratory, a laboratory that was probably state-of-the-art in the 1960s when it was designed, but currently it doesn't have enough space for our students. It doesn't have enough ventilation for us to run the types of experiments that we should be running right now with our students. We do a wonderful job with it. Our chemistry faculty are amazing. but we're looking forward to the renovated space. Our chemistry laboratories include those at the freshman level, and then at the upper division level, we have biochemistry, advanced biochemistry, chemical analysis, and all of our chemical majors take a 3-year senior research project where they're doing research involving some sort of chemistry. Chadron State College's sciences programs have always been hallmarked by the student-student collaboration, but also faculty and student collaboration. This space, the Broken Beaker, is a student lounge when it's not being used for a small classroom. In this space, the students gather and study. During finals week, the faculty bring in food for our students and for us as well, as a way to help that collaboration and that camaraderie during a very stressful week for our students. In the remodel, the faculty commitment is we will have a space like this for our students. Here in the Botany Lab, we teach not only botany, but also all of our upper division plant-based courses. One of the significant issues of this lab is that we have no space for storage. It doesn't near encapsulate what we need in order to teach that diverse array of courses. The advantage of these particular labs is they're very much designed for student-student collaboration. The disadvantage of this lab is that there's not a space for the students to store their personal items when they come into the laboratory. So we're looking forward to new labs that will be a little bit bigger. We'll have some storage space between the labs, so as we're teaching adjacent labs, we don't have as much sound coming between the labs, and that will help our students focus. This particular room has the equipment that's needed to capture our lectures. They're made available both for the online students and also for our face-to-face students. The renovated spaces will have 4 classrooms that are more traditional classrooms, but we've also got 3 active learning laboratories that we're planning. In those laboratories, we will have generic equipment that can be moved around, so it can be purposed to fit the needs of that particular classroom. All of those classrooms will also be conducive toward active learning. We'll have several classrooms that are available for use for the distance learning programs that we offer as well. We need to make sure that we're supporting those mathematics students and the geoscience students that are coming to us from a distance. We're now in the physics lab. As we look around this lab, we see a lot of remnants of our past history of teaching physics, but we also see how physics has changed. So there's much more digital collection of force and motion than what there was back when I was an undergraduate student. All of our physical science students take a physics class or 2. Many of our health profession students take a physics course, and many of our biology students that are going toward environmental sciences also should have physics. The new spaces will have a physics lab that is more conducive to the use of digital electronics. Our physics lab will be sharing its space with astronomy and also some other geoscience courses. Both of those courses are essential for our program, and astronomy, of course, is a very strong outreach course. We get students coming from the community. We also have students walking across campus to take an astronomy course as a part of their essential studies learning. Thank you so much for joining us on this tour of our science and math building. As faculty and students, we are really looking forward to the renovation that will occur soon. And we're looking forward to the new spaces that we can use more up-to-date learning techniques and push our students to even better and brighter things. Thank you, and come visit.